Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 11 of Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories. And now it's time to go to our next world. And we have only 2 worlds left. So, since I am still going in quote-unquote order, the same order I went with in Kingdom Hearts, you should know by now that after Agrabah, I was intercepted by Monstro the Whale, and, well, we're going to go to Monstro now. At least Memory Monstro, which is essentially the Pinocchio world. Okay. Yep, this should look familiar. The music should sound familiar too.
It's very trippy inside the whale.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but remember, this is not the real Monstro. This is a memory version of Monstro.
Though the real one did look like that on the inside, though.
Yeah. The thing is about, at least it's not, you know, real. It's more cartoon real, but still it's kind of odd that it'd be all, well, the inside's a bit, you know, have weird sound effects, you know, yeah. Anyway, we have Memory Pinocchio here. And, of course, Jiminy, because he, too, is affected by the whole, castle, he thinks this is the real Pinocchio, which is okay. That makes sense in a way, because Jiminy is Pinocchio's conscience. Okay. So, essentially, the plot of Monstro here is essentially similar. Pinocchio and, well, Geppetto want to get out. So, of course, we're going to have to help them in order to actually leave, so...
And unlike in the original, we won't see Riku here.
Nope. So, wherever could Riku be? Oh, well.
Probably not important right now.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Geppetto's here too, even though technically your memory's being affected, Jiminy, because of the real Pinocchio and the real Jiminy. No, not the real Jiminy. The real Geppetto is safe and sound at their home, and guess what? At the end of Kingdom Hearts, Pinocchio has turned into a real boy. Although technically Jiminy would not know this because he's not with them, you know?
Yeah.
So here we are, we're in Monstro, well, Memory Monstro that is. And yeah, same old. We have to just walk around. I'm going to kill some Heartless. I'm only going to show off this battle. Well, actually I'm going to show off another battle later on, but I'm showing this one off because it pretty much showcases all the enemies that we're going to experience here. Well, most of them at least. And they're pretty much the same. We have Shadows, we have Air Soldiers, we're going to have the big old Heartless, and we're going to have the spooky ghoul Heartless coming up, because if you recall in the original Kingdom Hearts, we have the original ghoul Heartless coming up, like these guys right here. For some reason, even though they kind of belong in Halloween Town, which we find them in Halloween Town as well, which is odd.
I always just assumed that Monstro ate them as well.
Yeah. He's a whale, and we do find these things in the Little Mermaid world too, so dead things,
Maybe they're supposed to represent victims who died in shipwrecks?
Probably. I mean, according to the movie, Monstro's like the worst of the worst in terms of whales.
Yeah.
I probably should mention this since you kind of saw briefly. If you feel like a battle's too intense for you, you can go to one end of the screen or the other, and there's a recovery bar that will appear. If you stay there long enough for the recovery bar to fill up all the way, you can escape, and yeah, and quickly get away from the Heartless in question. If you feel like the battle's too intense for you. So yeah. Oh, goody. We get the Wishing Star Keyblade cards now. Again, like before, they'll be the stronger and be more useful than the, well, current ones. And it is kind of important to start gathering all these different Keyblade cards because, well, I'll save it for later. You may have noticed that I've struck a clock that has this weird little side effect. if you strike the clock that's while you're near any Heartless, it'll essentially freeze the Heartless for a moment, allowing you to make a first strike.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yes. Very interesting. That's an explosive barrel, which I kind of should have used. I mean, if I use it, it'll damage the Heartless, and if I do a first strike, it'll damage the Heartless even more. Thank you. I'll get these Moogle Balls. Okay. It's kind of weird, but thankfully this is not the real Monstro, but still. In this place in Castle Oblivion, your memory can make it real and all that sort of thing, so yeah. Anyway, I just need to open up my map to figure out where to go, and I need to head right. And then up, and then right some more, and then I'll be entering the first plot door. Okay, so go ahead and get over to the right here. Let's see which card should I use? Let's see. Need one and up. I might as well go ahead and use another sleeping card, because why not? Now, of course, like before, I'm going to take out all the Heartless in this room, and I'll skip over it to there. They're all gone. And here we have plot door number 2. As you can see, I need a red, I need a 5 and down, and I need the key of a guidance card. So we're going to go on to the first plot door that's a little ahead. Now, as I go on and fight skip all the fights with the Heartless, what are your thoughts about the movie Pinocchio?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Alright, so you don't know the story of,
Yeah, I know the story.
Yeah, but you don't remember anything at all?
Actually, I do remember the whole bit with Pleasure Island.
Oh, yes, Pleasure Island. Yes, that whole little section where Pinocchio is taken by the coach. Wait, is it by the coachman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taken by the coachman to an island where all naughty boys go to. They have a good time until they start transforming into donkeys for mines and stuff.
And the coachman is unique in that he's one of the few Disney villains who isn't punished at the end.
Too bad. Kind of wish that we could do that in the Kingdom Hearts games. It would be so fun and all that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm showing off this battle because I don't think I've shown off those little blue creatures, those blue Heartless. I don't think they ever appeared in the original game. I think they're new, actually. In context of the, other games, you know. You can tell how brutal this guy is. It's kind of, every time I try to attack him, he always turns around and, ugh. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd show off this because of those little blue enemies, those bluish-green enemies, so yeah.
You got a White Room card. What does that do?
White Room essentially creates a room that has white mushrooms. If you recall from the original Kingdom Hearts, the white mushrooms, when you encounter them, you have to use magic spells on them in order to get certain rewards. So if one is doing a certain motion that requires you to do, for example, the fire spell, you would cast fire 3 times on them and then you'll get a reward. But sometimes they'll switch it up by doing an action that makes you want to use fire or then blizzard or thunder or cure and so on and so forth. So you have to make sure to equip the right to use the right spell. It's pretty much the same principle here. You just have to make sure you equipped one magic card, each a magic card, if you are going to attempt the White Room. And it's one of the easier rooms to skip Heartless if you don't want to fight a bunch of Heartless as well. I'll show it off later on in this playthrough, actually. So yeah, Pinocchio, huh? And I believe it's also where the song "When You Wish Upon a Star" comes from. You know that whole song that appears in almost every Disney movie in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that song came from. You know. getting all the this debris right here. It's kind of all odd and all that sort of thing. I believe I've cleared out all the Heartless in this area, so we're going to move on. Let's see here. Next, what we're going to do. Which room should I use next? What the heck. I might as well use a treasure room. Because, why not? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a good idea to go back to previous rooms when you get treasure room cards, create a treasure room so you can get some treasure, because it's worth it to get some rewards right here. Well, for example, I don't know if I said this earlier, but if each floor, room, world place has a one specific treasure that you can get, and then afterwards, if you use a treasure card again, you can get some random rewards such as summon cards or special keyblades. And yeah. Anyway, I got the Sly Fire Ray, which includes a fire card and 2 attack cards. Very useful against ice-based enemies and stuff.
And for the attack cards, you can use any Keyblade card?
As far as I know, yes. As long as it's an attack card, it works. Anyway, there are 2 special doors right here. One of them's another reward door, which I cannot enter yet. I don't have the right card. And of course, we have plot door number 1. So I have to sacrifice an amount of 20, a number of cards that will equal to 20, and then I can enter. Okay, so yeah, time for some plot. After we load, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, this place looks familiar.
Yep, we're in his mouth now.
Yeah, that's where we met Geppetto the first time, and this is where we're gonna meet Geppetto again, or at least the memory Geppetto, and there's Cleo too. Of course, here's the thing: how come we never see Figaro the cat? I guess they couldn't program it in there, but they still managed to program 101 Dalmatians in the original game. I mean, they could at least spare some memory for that. I mean, you can have Figaro just hanging out on the cat. I mean, on the cat. Hanging out on the ship, just standing there, not moving at all. Oh, yeah, so, yes. I mean, it's kind of weird that they think that they've been swallowed by the whale when they're clearly not. They're on floor number... Let's see, hold on a second, okay. Floor 1 was Traverse Town. Number 2 was Alice in Wonderland. Number 3 was Hercules. Number 4... Yeah, this is floor number 5. There we go. Yeah. Again, Castle Oblivion screwing with their minds here and there. I don't know if we're trying to sympathize here, because in the end, it's just memory. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's not real in the long run. And I know the music here is supposed to indicate sadness and all that sort of thing, but at the same time, it's kind of hard when you know they're fake.
Yeah.
So yeah. And don't you think you also find it weird that there's this fox. Was it a fox?
Yeah, it was a fox, and he had an assistant that was a cat.
Yeah, Honest John. That these 2 characters were just waltzing around, you know, people not batting an eye, but yet they bat an eye to a walking, talking puppet.
Yeah.
So...
I guess, like, animal people are normal in the world, but walking toys aren't.
Yeah, well... I mean... Jiminy interacts with Pinocchio and the Blue Fairy and all that sort of thing, so... Yeah. Anyway, just like in the real Monstro, we gain the ability of jumping higher. See? Look at that.
Nice.
I can jump higher, which means I can reach certain ledges a little higher and better, and
Sora also does a somersault.
yeah, indicating that he can jump higher.
Too bad that isn't a screw attack.
That would have been interesting, you know. He would jump, spin around, and while spinning around, he would use the Keyblade to attack enemies. But
Yeah.
in the context of this game, it wouldn't work because it'll just take us to a battlefield or something. So
Yeah.
now, the good thing about the high jump is, or bad thing, depending on your point of view, it's automatic, which means it's automatically equipped, and I don't think it goes away when, if you can get it to go away. Can you get it to go away? I never have. Anyway, we're going to the next plot door, so I need a red card, a card that's 5 and down, and then the Key of Guidance card. Okay, come on. Let's see, what should I use? Should I use a... might as well use that one. Now, Key of Guidance, and then we are good to go. Okay. See, we're getting by this. I'm sure we're going to find Pinocchio. We're going to escort him back to Geppetto, and then everything will be fine. No, everything will be fine. I mean...
Yeah, see, look, he's right there. Nothing bad happened.
No. There's no Riku here to play with Pinocchio to get him lost or anything. But we see the reason for Pinocchio to run away this time is because he wants to help find a way out for him and Geppetto. So, I mean, I have to commend the guy for at least trying, because he really cares about his father. I mean, he did risk his life to save him during the climax of the original movie.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what earned him the reward of becoming a real boy. Now, the thing is, I don't get is, we know that every time he lies, his nose grows.
Yes.
But, I know the Blue Fairy at one point helped reverse that effect, but whenever he does it, like any other time, after a major thing happens, it always shrinks back down. Is it because he's telling the truth or something, or...
Probably.
And then we just don't see it shrink back down, or animation-wise, or... I'm just guessing, so yeah. Yeah, okay. See, again, Pinocchio here is just helping, and,
No, there is something oddly familiar about this room.
Yeah, I mean, there's this, purple layout, and then there's all this gooey, acid right here.
Although I do kind of have a bad feeling about this room. Just call it a hunch.
No, I'm sure everything will be fine. We'll just get Pinocchio and get out of here because, I mean, there's no way there could be a boss right here. I mean, we're only at the Key of Guidance door. Usually at the Key of Truth door, there's a boss, we defeat him, and then we move on. Yeah. Come on. So, yeah, we're going to help Pinocchio get out of here so we can get out of here so we can move on with the actual plot of the game. And, yeah. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Sure. Okay. And your nose won't... What the...
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy, we have the suspense music. Something's happening. Usually, if something like this happens, we go away, then we get the Key of Truth door. Alright, so... Yeah, let's run forward, and then, What the... What? Okay. How did he get in there? One minute he was just standing right there, and suddenly he's in there. How'd that happen?
Probably like a limited budget or something. I guess if it had more of a budget, it'd show him shoving it into his mouth.
You could say that the parasite cage actually fell on top of Pinocchio and it absorbed him, but that's stretching it a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, we have Parasite Cage, our boss of Monstro already.
And much like the other Heartless bosses, it's back to its original color scheme.
Exactly. So here we are, we're on these moving platforms because this place is surrounded by acid, which does hurt you, but not as much as you'd expect, as I'm actually risking myself actually being up on Monstro. Because as you knock it out, like right here, you can get some health balls, plus I have some cure cards on hand so that I can heal myself. So I'm not in any danger. Plus, we have the gimmick card of this boss, which neutralizes the acid temporarily, allowing me some free shots without worrying about getting burned by the acid. So, yeah, Parasite Cage, he just swings its arms, does this technique, can absorb the acid to blow at you, and that's pretty much it, really. It's not really hard. It's not really a hard boss. It's just there. Also, the platforms can disappear either by choice or by the will of the parasite cage attacking them. So be careful of that. And otherwise, this boss is not too bad, really. Just keep your eye on your health. Make sure you have enough cure cards on hand, and
that's it.
That's it. And spoilers, ladies and gentlemen, this is the only time you will see the parasite cage in Monstro. Because, you know, in the original game, you encounter a parasite cage once, beat him, he retreats, and then later on, it reappears for the final confrontation.
Yes.
There is no final confrontation in Memory Monstro right here.
So basically that was the final confrontation.
Pretty much, that was the boss of Monstro right there. We will never see it again.
So what does the parasite cage card do?
It's Dispel. It nullifies an opponent's enemy card without fail. Nothing happens if your opponent has no enemy card to play. And you can use it one time.
Okay.
Don't worry, this thing is defeated. It's just that Pinocchio here has to make it go away. Because he has to be brave. Alright. See, look at that. He's being brave by jumping around and yeah. So, in the end, Pinocchio deals the final blow. Okay.
Whatever, it works.
Okay. But I do like here is that Pinocchio's nose is still long, but wasn't it short inside the parasite cage?
Inconsistencies.
Yeah. Like you said, limited budget, and oh well. Yeah. The thing spit out when I started to fight back. Yeah, so at least now we have a general idea on how to get Pinocchio and Geppetto to have them escape. So the plan is to now upset Monstro so that he could essentially vomit them back out. You know, give him an upset stomach and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird since this is technically the stomach right there with all the acid, and so yeah. So he's going to send Pinocchio back to Geppetto because when this does work, they have to be together, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, no use in... Yep, see? He listened to the conscience. And, yeah. So, yeah, folks, we're going to help Pinocchio and Geppetto escape Memory Monstro, and we'll be actually moving on in Part 12. So, yeah, folks, until then, see you next time.